Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So I want to start off this video by saying this video is actually pre-recorded. I'm actually, as you're watching this, I will actually be in Canada, which I am so excited for. So for the next following week, my 3 videos, so today's video on Wednesday, Friday's video, and then Sunday's video, it all going to be pre-recorded videos because I won't be at my computer, and I'm actually a little bit nervous because whenever I've scheduled a video before in the past, it's normally just because I'm a little bit ahead of my schedule and I am able to do it, but I've always been near my computer just to make sure that it goes up. But I'm a little bit nervous because I'm actually scheduling my videos for this week and I won't be near my computer, so it's a little bit daunting, but hopefully everything goes all right. But I am actually going to be going to Toronto. If you do not know, I think I've mentioned it before quite a while back, but my brother actually lives in Toronto, and so me and my mum are flying out there to go and visit him, and I'm so excited. And I also get to go to New York as I am actually turning 21 this month, and so that is part of my birthday present and I cannot wait. I'm going to my 2 favourite cities, which are Toronto and New York, and I'm so excited for this next following week. So I just wanted to let you know that the next few videos that you're going to see are going to be pre-recorded. But yeah, so anyway, getting into the video. So as you can see, today we're actually going to be building a community lot, and I feel like I haven't done a community lot in a really long time, but then I just said that, and then I did a yacht restaurant not too long ago, but that was just kind of something for the new world of Sulani. I felt like I haven't actually sat down and built something in one of the kind of older worlds, because I feel like with Sulani it's all new and fresh and all exciting, but with a few of the other worlds that we've had for quite a while, I haven't actually sat down and done a community lot. And this build, so this is basically a Brindleton Bay Park, and I really wanted to have a kind of a central park for Brindleton Bay for my save file. And there is actually a park when you go into the world. It's kind of like a dog training park, so it's got all the things to train your animals, and I was actually planning on putting a few of them items in, but it just kind of didn't match with the aesthetic in the end, so I didn't actually add them in. But for my save file, this is going to be where the park is. I'm actually going to replace that kind of little dog park with one of a house. I'm going to make that little area all houses, I think. I'm not sure about the vets because it is a vet clinic there, but for the moment I'm pretty sure it's all going to stay as just being a residential lot. And so I am building this on what is actually meant to be a residential lot. It is called, I believe it's called Towers End. I'm not completely sure, it's not very clear. It's in the top left corner if you were curious, but I really like this lot just because it's right near the beach and it's right next to the lounge, which I am actually yet to renovate. I actually know what I want to do for that, but I really just wanted all of like the community lots all to be clustered together, and then the same for the residential lots. I didn't really want to mix them up in this world just because that's what I prefer to do, but I really wanted to kind of build like a central park so your Sims can come here with a family on a day out and just chill out and have a really nice family day. So this park is actually listed as a cafe. Now this is actually the second park that I've built on this channel, so if you want to see another video I've done of a park, I'll put a card on the screen now. I actually renovated I can't think what it's called, but the park in Willow Creek, the big park in the middle of kind of like the world. I have actually done a renovation for that for my save file already, and I had so much fun when I was doing that. But I did actually do that quite a while ago, and so I just thought it would be nice to do another park. But when I was actually doing that one, I was actually kind of renovating the park, so I wasn't working with a completely blank canvas. I kind of had some bits and bobs to go off, so I knew kind of where it would be good to landscape it and where it would be good to have like the toilets and the building. And with this one, because it is actually just a empty lot, so originally I think this is actually planned to be more of a residential than a community lot. Obviously you can do whatever you want with it in the game, but it was a completely empty lot, so it was a bit challenging to actually just figure out where I wanted to put everything, because I had no reference pictures when I was going off this. I was just trying to figure it all out as I was going along. I do absolutely love the way this turned out though. It's probably one of my favourite builds I've ever done in this world. I just think it's so beautiful and it's such a lovely place just to come with your Sims. So I'm doing the same thing in this park which I did in my other park in Willow Creek. I still can't think of the name of it. I think it's called Blossom Park or something like that. But on the gallery this will be listed as a cafe. Now I did this in that other park park. And basically I feel like you can get so much more gameplay if you actually list a park as a calf, because I really like the idea of your Sims be able to go to a park and still have all the park items around, but then also have a little calf. So if your Sims want to pop in for a cup of tea and a slice of cake or whatever, they can do that. That's just what I prefer, and a lot of the parks around me do have that as well. They just have calves in them, and so whenever I typically tend to build parks, I feel like I always just kind of make them as a calf. But obviously if you don't want it to run as a calf and you just want to come here as a park, then you can do that. There's all the park items that you would need, but I just really like listing it as a park because I said this in my video which I did in the Willow Creek one, but I just really like the idea of your Sims coming here on like a Sunday as like a place to come with all the family, and the children can go in the park and play around, and then the parents can come in here and just have a cup of tea and maybe catch up with a few of their friends. That's just something that I really like the idea of, so hopefully you guys like this. So this build will already be on the gallery, so if you want to go and download it you can, and that kind of goes for all of my builds for the next following week. They will all be on my gallery, so if you actually want to follow me on the gallery and you kind of want to see what kind of builds I'm coming out with this week, then you can. My origin ID is JessicapieYT, or you can just search the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie, and then you can find me in the gallery. You can follow me if you would like, but make sure if you download any of my builds you do turn on bb.moveobjects. But as you can kind of see, I am just kind of finishing up the cafeteria now. So the reason why I actually wanted to build this first is because I felt like, because this is kind of like the biggest part of the park, I needed to kind of get this in placement so I could kind of see what I had to work with in terms of space. But in the park in the cafe we do just have like a little like bar area with all the coffee machines and stuff, and your Sims will just be able to come here and there should be baristas just waiting there ready to serve your Sims. There is also a really lovely kind of light room, so on towards like the left of the kind of cafeteria I did actually place this big round table from Laundry Day, and then I added loads of different chairs around it which are from Cats and Dogs, and it's just windows on all three of the walls, and I just think it's so beautiful and it's such a nice place for your Sims to come and probably take some really nice photos. But now I am just kind of clutching up these bookcases. Now I don't actually show it because I felt like it would be a little bit boring to watch, but above them bookcases I do actually add an extra shelf and then just clutter that up so much. But I felt like it was going to be a little bit boring to watch me just clutter up a shelf for a solid like 10 minutes because it did take me a really long time. So I don't actually show that, but it will be in the screenshots. And you just saw I did actually just add some little bird paintings or bird pictures around this build. So that is something that we actually got them with the Cats and Dogs expansion. They're one of the collectibles, and your Sims will pick up a feather, but then if they actually try and place them onto a wall, then they become a picture, and they are actually some of my favourite pictures that we have in the game. I just kind of wish that we could have them in the normal build and buy menu, because if you want to access them you do actually have to turn on the show hidden objects cheat. But now I'm actually moving on to the outside, and so I still wanted there to be a little bit of outdoor seating, so maybe if your Sims want to come here of an evening and it's kind of like a really nice cool night, then they can just come out here and sit down, and then the children can be out playing. I just really love this build, so hopefully you guys like it as well. But now as you can kind of see, I've actually moved on from the cafeteria and I'm actually starting off with the main structure of the rest of this kind of lot. So I'm starting actually building the park area because the cafeteria area is now done. I will actually go back in a minute and do a little bit of landscaping, but I do actually cut the majority of the landscaping around that building out just because it did actually take me quite a long time, and I do actually show quite a lot of the landscaping when I'm going around in various places in this store, and so I didn't feel like it would be like necessary to keep that in. But as you can kind of see, I did just add this little basketball court just on one side, and that is something that I find is kind of necessary in a park now that we've got a city living, and so I wanted to add that. We do just have 2 basketball hoops, and then I also have the kind of basketball court on the floor, and then I just kind of section that off with this get to work fence, which I think works really well for kind of like a little basketball court area. But now I am actually just going in and creating kind of like the little playground area for the children. So in here we do have a couple of swing sets, and we also do have some monkey bars. And now I'm actually going to go around and just place multiple different slides, and just I'm actually sizing up some of these toys because I don't know what they're called, but sometimes if you will go into parks you will see these little kind of seating things which you can rock on, and I wanted to try and imitate one of them. I'm not sure what they're called, but I wanted to try and act as if them sized up toys was one of them, and so I did just place them around. I'm also going around and just placing a few toy boxes, and now I'm actually going in and adding the sand. So I do actually want to say I actually started furnishing this video, or started building this video, just before Island Living came out. I think I started recording this around about a week before that pack was actually released, and so all of the video up until now when I'm actually placing this little gazebo down is all pre-recorded before I actually had that pack. And now while I'm actually started building the gazebo, I actually started finishing this off just the other day, and so you'll kind of see me go around in the end and actually add the new sand that we've got with the world of Island Living, or with the world of Solani in Island Living. And so I believe that sand, you can actually build sand castles anywhere in the world. As long as there's sand on the kind of area, then your Sims will be able to build a sand castle. And I'm so happy they added that element, because I've actually been putting sandboxes in my builds for a really long time, but I've only ever really been putting them just for kind of a looks purpose, and knowing that the sand doesn't actually work. And apparently now that the sand will actually be able to be built into a sandcastle no matter what world it's placed in, as long as it is actually sand and not just like dirt or whatever. And so I'm really happy with that. You will actually see me go in and change the sand in a little while, but now I'm actually doing this little gazebo. So this is when I actually came back into the build, and this is the first thing that I wanted to do. And so I kind of wanted like a centerpiece for the park, and that is this gazebo. I absolutely love it. I think it turns out to be so adorable, and I just wanted like a kind of a main seating area for your Sims to come up and just chill out. And I do actually add a couple of seats up here, as well as some dog bowls. Now as this is actually placed or actually built in Brindleton Bay, which is actually the world that we got with cats and dogs, I needed to be cat and dog friendly, and so I do actually add a load of different food bowls, or like eating bowls or drinking bowls, whatever it goes in them, all around this kind of lot, so your Sims can bring their dogs here, can bring their cats here, and then they'll have somewhere to eat, to drink, and also go to the toilet, because obviously it's a big park. I didn't actually add any litter boxes though for a cat, because I didn't actually use any proper toilets. I just kind of used the toilet object, which your Sims will kind of disappear into. So if you want to bring your cats here, you might actually have to add a litter box, but that's about it. Everything else is usable for dogs. I wanted it to be a very dog friendly park, because it is built in Brindleton Bay. And I do actually go around as well and add a few toddler potties into that little sandpit area as well, because I was thinking if you do actually decide to bring your Sims here for maybe like a family day out, and your Sims have some toddlers and then they need to go to the toilet, there wasn't actually anywhere for your Sims toddlers to go to the toilet. And so I do actually add some little potties into the kind of that little sand area. But now you can kind of see I'm actually going in and changing the sand, so I'm just so excited for your Sims to actually be able to build sand castles in another world that isn't Sulani. I think that is such a brilliant aspect to actually add into the game, and I'm just so happy, because like I said, I've been building sandboxes for so long and it's always just kind of been looks over purpose, but now your Sims can actually come here, and it gives another activity for children to do as well. I'm not actually sure if toddlers can build sandcastles. I haven't actually played around with that a lot, because I haven't actually been playing with any children in my game, but I'm assuming they can. But now I'm actually just going around and doing a little bit of terrain painting in kind of like the little basketball area. I wasn't actually sure what kind of flooring I wanted to put beneath that kind of outline of a basketball court, and so I just decided to go on this gravel one. And I actually believe that gravel is from Outdoor Retreat. Now I don't actually remember using any other objects in this lot apart from, or any other items that came with that pack in this lot apart from that gravel, and so that is one of the packs that I used when I was building this. I'm not sure on the other ones, but I think that is the only one from Outdoor Retreat. So if you don't actually have that pack and you want to download this, then I think you should be absolutely fine, because I feel like I didn't use anything else apart from that just gravel, because it just really matched what I wanted to do beneath the basketball court. I don't actually know on the other packs, but as always the build details will be in the description box down below if you're curious. Down there I just list all the different packs that I've used and the lot size and the price if your Sims will ever want to buy it, although they probably won't because it's a park, but I still put it in there anyway. But as you can kind of see, I'm actually now going around and just doing a little bit of terrain painting, and I'm kind of creating this little circular area just on kind of like the left hand side of the lot, because I felt like even though it does have like a few activities, I still wanted there to be some kind of terrain painting and some flowers, and it is a park, so I wanted it to be as pretty as I could make it. And one thing that I noticed is I was kind of like struggling with the build a little bit up until this point, and then once I started actually creating little pathways and adding some more landscaping and just going around and just doing little bits and bobs, it really does completely change the look of the build. And I just absolutely love terrain painting because it really can do that. So you'll see me add so many different pathways leading off in all different directions, and I'm adding some like little dirt beneath all the objects as well to make it look a little bit more realistic. I just absolutely love it. But you can kind of see we have got multiple different seating areas all around the build. Now originally when I actually went in and built this for the first time, I used these cats and dogs one in this kind of like dark brown with a green umbrella, but then when I actually came back in, I thought I'd try and match it to be like kind of similar to the building. So the building is this really light shade of pink, and so I decided to change the umbrella shade to this kind of a white one, and I just prefer it so much. So we do actually have multiple of them just around the lot, just placed around, so your Sims can come here with maybe a couple of friends and they've all got a place to sit. We also do have multiple of these little base game barbecues. I was actually thinking about using the toddler pack one, so the one that came with the Toddler Stuff pack, but I felt like they were more for back gardens instead of like a communal lot, so I just decided to go with these base game ones. But now you can kind of see I just create that little pathway leading up to the little kind of play area, so that is where your children and toddlers can play. I do also have one of them massive pirate ships as well in the corner, so there is one of them big objects as well if you've kind of got older kids that you want to come and bring to this park. Obviously there is a basketball court as well, so children can use that, but I don't think toddlers can actually go onto the basketball court. I feel like that would be really silly. But now I'm actually going around and just adding loads of different objects. So at this point I actually just sat down in the build and buy menu, and I just pulled out so many different objects that I've always wanted to use, but I've never really had a placement for them. And so one of them was actually this massive statue, which I believe that we got with Get Together, and I believe this is actually in the city centre, like the town area of Windenburg, and I've always wanted to use that statue and I've never actually figured out where I could place it. And so I felt like maybe that person in the statue could be someone who did something really amazing for Brindleton Bay, or maybe it's just like an ex-president or something like that. But there is a massive statue of just a sim. Obviously we don't know who he is, but I kind of wanted to make that kind of like the main feature as you walk in through the park. So it is right at the front, and I do also just add this little seat in front of it, which I actually add them seats in different areas around the lot. They are from Romantic Garden Stuff, and they are just so beautiful. There is a lot of romantic garden stuff in this pack. I also do use quite a few of the statues as well in some of the flower beds, and I just think it just brings the whole build together and just makes it so much more beautiful. Now I'm actually just going around and adding these little signs that we've got with cats and dogs, and they've just kind of got like a no pooping sign on it. Now I know I said this is dog friendly and cat friendly and all that kind of stuff, but I just kind of wanted to give it the idea that cats and dogs can come here, but they're just not allowed to go to the toilet in kind of like the flowers and stuff, because obviously you wouldn't want dogs to go to the toilet in your bushes if you work really hard for them, or maybe there's a gardener that comes here and he just doesn't want animals coming in and just disrupting his kind of flower beds and stuff. So I did just go around and just place them in a few of the flower beds. Now I'm actually going around and just adding this little fountain as well, and I also do add this really big cats and dogs sign at the very front, and I kind of imagine that it had the name of the park, so maybe Brindleton Bay Central Park or something like that. That sign is actually from Get to Work, and I just think it looks so beautiful. I normally use it in more like bakeries or something like that, but I felt like it looks so beautiful in the world of Brindleton Bay, so I did just add that right next to this massive statue of a sim. But now I'm actually just going to go around and finish off the landscaping just in front of this little sign, and I'm actually going to end this voiceover here. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make this little Brindleton Bay Park, and as always, if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speedbuilding video. Bye guys.